guys were really able to establish Chet early and just the way that he can stretch and hurt them in various ways. How important do you think that was to maybe setting a tone of the style that you guys wanted to play offensively tonight?
Yeah, he was great to start. He was aggressive. He was assertive. Made quick decisions, made the right decisions, and obviously a big reason why we got out to that lead. But yeah, he just played to his strengths and didn't try to fray for them. And we all know when he does so, he's really good.
Defensively, I just want to ask you about maybe some of the habits of footwork and positioning that you guys established in the regular season, carrying over to a game like tonight where you draw 8 offensive fouls and so many of them with just hustling around screens, having your feet quick and in the right spots.
Yeah, we know that's where we hang our hat defensively, and we these past couple games just tried to give it all we got and execute the game plan. Now, what those things are, we go into every day and focus on them, and then just try to carry them out, and we've done so.
Mark was just talking before the game about this league-wide psychology, sort of teams that lost in game 1 kind of coming in with this different energy to start game 2s. I just wonder how you guys felt you maybe rivaled that psychology to start this game.
Yeah, personally, I didn't think anything of it. Being in this league for as long as I have, and seeing the series that I have, you have to be able to flip the page. And I think that's how you get the best results. And I think we did so. We did a good job of it. And that's why we got the result we wanted.
What did you make of the way Chet, his timing, just getting in and out of screens tonight?
Yeah, he was really good. He was in the actions, got out of them, and then put their defense in a bind almost all the night. And then he was making shots, putting it down. Yeah, he was A+ tonight for sure.
Yeah, Shai. Only 9 turnovers for you guys, 8 really with the shot clock violation there at the end. How important was it for you guys to come in, protect the ball, especially with a faster-paced game against this really good defense?
Yeah, they're a really good defense, like you said. So we knew that you can't turn it over against them because it's going to be hard to get good shots and cracks as it is. So that's just one of the things that we had to do. And we knew that going against them defensively.
Shai, the toughness that we see from Chet battling down there with Valanciunas, when did you kind of first know he had that in him or start to see that?
When the year Chet got drafted, he came to Toronto, I think, that summer. And we played pickup against the league's called CBO. We played pickup against them, one of the teams, and he it was a bigger guy, and he was battling physically, even though obviously he was giving up a lot of pounds, and talking smack and all that stuff. So I knew Chet had that fire in him from that day, a couple summers ago.
And you still see that same guy now, I'm guessing, that kind of you saw back then?
Absolutely.
Michael Martin, Let's Talk Thunder. Mark, all this season has praised you guys as being an uncommon group with uncommon people, and one of the things he's talked about is just the competitiveness of this group. And I just want to ask you about how uncommon it is to not only have this many competitive guys, but all sort of going in the same direction. There's no one fighting for shots, limelight, or anything like that.
We prioritize winning, and that's something we try to do every night, every time we step on the floor, and it's all 15, 16, 17, however many guys we have on a roster. That's all of our main things, and when you prioritize winning, things like that come with it.
Jay, I'm not sure what else you can say about Lou and his defense, but is there anything you can say about allowing Ingram only 10 shots tonight? And then I'm wondering how that trickles down to what else we see defensively from you guys.
Yeah, Lou. I'm glad I don't have to play against him. It's where he hangs his hat every night, and he doesn't get complacent. And it's rare nights that we switch, or he fights through everything and keeps his matchup all night. Every second he's on the floor, guards the best player on another team every night. It's it's amazing to watch, and it's special. Like, it's really a talent. Some guys can score, and Lou can play defense. How he hasn't made an All-NBA team defensively or anything like that, I don't know. I don't vote, but he is some of the best defense I've ever seen in my life.
How does that affect everything else defensively when you got a guy that does what he does?
Yeah, he anchors us. His physicality, his effort. It's hard. Like, when you see Lou doing all that defensively, you can't just give up defensively or not put the same effort. You feel like you're letting him down. He anchors us defensively for sure.
Shay, you mentioned that you don't look around at the playoffs and other road teams winning game twos and stuff like that. But just how much does that speak to the maturity of this team to be able to block that out and have a performance like you guys did tonight?
Yeah, I think it just goes back to us prioritizing winning, and all those things and distractions that get in the way of winning. And every night, all 15 of us go to bed, want to win the next game, want to win the next day, and we do everything we can to do so.
Chet was just in the post game, just interrupting the interview, calling you humble. Just how much of that do you agree with, and I guess why is that?
Do I agree with what, sorry?
You being humble. Do you agree with that? Why is that?
I'm humble but cocky in my own way, I'd say. I have a lot of confidence. I don't always exert it and show it, but I'm a very confident guy.
Talking about the recognition that you guys had offensively tonight, that's obviously a really good defense over there. What was your process like as a team on offense to be able to make those snap decisions?
Just coming in, understanding that we weren't going to win the game as individuals, and we were going to have to beat them as a collective, playing together, playing off of each other. I feel like we did a good job of that.
What did you see while screening tonight? Just in terms of timing, getting in and out of that stuff?
Some of it was in the flow of the game. Some of it was calls that coach put together. Just kind of trying to read who was guarding me, what coverage they were in, and kind of make decisions based on that. I feel like overall tonight, I made the right decision and the right play on pretty much all of those.
You butt into Shai's post game on TNT to say that he was humble. Why do you think that is, that he's humble?
I think that's just the guy he is. When you know who you are and you're really confident in it, you don't have to, try and project it. He knows he's a great player. He knows what he means to this team, so, he doesn't feel the need to try and put it into words. So, sometimes some of us have to speak for him.
Chet, tonight you guys won the rebounding battle. Was that an emphasis going into this game? And will you talk about just the team rebounding?
Yeah. The most important thing is to not let a team score. When you do that, usually you have to get a rebound. So that's the next most important thing. And, we definitely keyed in on that, because when we make that missed shot, we get a rebound, we can, start playing the other way as fast as we can. It was a huge key tonight, and it'll continue to be going forward.
Chet, I'm just wondering what your chest feels like, man, after what Jonas is doing. And
Good, man.
do you feel like that's something he's trying to do to kind of knock you off your game a little bit mentally even?
No, I just think, obviously he's a good player and he's confident in his ability, and, they're going to him in the post, trying to have him make some plays down there. And, it's my job to make those plays as tough as possible. He's a good player. I'm not going to shut him out on a decent amount of touches, so I just got to make those as hard as possible, and it'll work out in our favor if I do my job.
Do you feel like you're sending a message to him too, the way you're standing him up when he's trying to bang against you like that?
I'm just trying to play good defense. Not obviously you don't want him to think like, oh, this is easy. I can just kind of go wherever I want on the floor, especially with the ball in his hand. So. Just trying to go out there and, compete at a high level.
Yeah, Chet. I know you guys' defense is predicated on helping each other out there, but specifically for you, how much does it help you out on the backside when you have guys like Lou, Casey, and J-Dub doing what they're doing on the wing, and Shai to an extent also?
Yeah. You know, nobody in the NBA guards good players with just one person. You know, that's how record nights happen. And, you know, we're no different. You know, one person can't guard a whole team either. So it's definitely a collective effort at all times. Just trying to have each other's back, you know, so that we can trust that the next guy's going to be there.
The anticipation headed into game one, plus the crowd was wild. And I don't know if you guys were really expecting the crowd to be as loud as they were, but whether you were or not, how do you think that you guys like settled into everything in game two?
Yeah, I always say when expectations come up, I don't like to go into things with expectations. You know, I'm the type of person who likes to figure things out for what they are as they happen, and I feel like as a group we did a good job of that in game one. Obviously, we didn't put up as many points as we would like to on a I guess you could say normal night, and none of us have played in that type of atmosphere either. Last time some of these dudes were in the playoffs was the bubble, so they haven't seen anything like that. You know, we've only seen Twitter clips of like 2012, which is, you know, it's surreal to like actually experience it in real life now. So shout out to the fans. You know, they've brought it in these first two games, and you know they're going to continue to do that, and we need that from them.
What was it like at the beginning of the game? Jonas had like the first 11 points for the Pelicans. Obviously, you guys bounced back in a big way, but like in that moment where Valanciunas is, you know, scoring at the rim over and over again, like what's going through your head?
Just as a team trying to settle into the game. You know, he got it going early, and you know, we were able to kind of adjust and you know, figure out how to keep him from scoring 100. You know, he's on pace. So.
Shai's your leading scorer. He puts up 30 tonight, makes it almost look routine. But tonight he didn't score until like the 2:54 mark of the first quarter. But you guys are still up, I think, 8, maybe even 10 points. What's that say about your squad as a whole when that can go?
Yeah, I mean it's huge. You know, it's no secret how good he is, and other teams are definitely going to key in on that. You know, like I said before, no team guards anybody with one guy. You know, that's how career nights happen, and nobody wants to be on the other side of that. So teams are going to guard him aggressively with, you know, more than one guy, and you know, shout out to him. You know, he was trusting us, making the right play, and you know, helping create advantages for other guys on the floor. And you know, I was even telling him in the timeouts, like, you know, keep trusting it. You know, yours is going to come in the flow, and it did. And you know, he's always going to be aggressive too, so he's going to make plays happen.
You said Valanciunas got going early, but so did you. Offensively, you poured in a bunch of first quarter points as well. What was that like in that moment to feel that offensive flow, and was that something that you guys saw coming out of game one that you felt like you could exploit? Just walk me through what was going on there.
Yeah, I mean, in the first game, I hit my first one and then threw up like 4 bricks after that. So I just wanted to, you know, come out ready tonight to make my shots and capitalize on advantages that we have out there. And you know, I did a good job of that early, and then you know, from there is staying aggressive but making the right plays. You know, as a team, not only myself but everybody, and I feel like we did a great job of that tonight. And you know, we got to keep it going.
Chet, in these first two games, you mentioned a lot of you guys haven't played in front of playoff crowds before, but it's been positive playoff crowds. Now that you're going on the road into a different environment where it can be pretty volatile, do you think that changes anything for you guys?
I mean, I'd like to say no. Like, we're still gonna solve problems with 5. We're gonna go out there and play as a team. You know, figure things out together. But again, I don't know. I've never played in that situation. But last year in the play-in, a lot of these guys were, you know, playing in a situation like that with a crowd that was pretty crazy. I was there for that. I wasn't playing, obviously, and you know, we can expect the same thing. You know, not only is the crowd gonna bring it, but you know, the Pels are going to bring it too, so we got to be ready for that and, you know, continue to get better.
Chet, you guys are doing a lot of things for the first time in the playoffs and all those things. With a 2-0 series lead, how do you avoid any kind of a letdown going into the game on Saturday?
Just as we would with the series record being anything else, what the record is up to this point isn't going to change anything in our preparation and our process. We obviously have to have an understanding that, they're a team with their backs against the wall, and they're going to come ready to play for Game 3. And, we have to prepare the same way we have for 84 games now, and come out and be ready to play and execute.
What were you seeing on the floor in terms of being able to create for your teammates?
I had a lot of assists.
Yeah, I think it's 7.
Oh, tough. Just got to take what the game gives you. Especially in the playoffs, everybody's kind of focused on every detail. Guys know your plays, so you kind of just got to take what's there and not really force anything. I think for myself and the rest of the team, I thought we just did a good job of kind of letting each other make a play and just kind of reading off of that. And like I said, I wasn't really trying to force anything and just kind of letting the game come to me and make as many right plays as possible. If that's whether I have 2 points or 20, it's just kind of reading the game and seeing what we can do. And we have a really talented group, so it's pretty easy for me to just kind of facilitate and then see where I can kind of fit in.
Defensively, you all, throughout the 82 games, really established habits with footwork and positioning. Did it feel like all of that stuff just flowed naturally tonight to draw as many offensive fouls as you did, to force as many turnovers as you did?
I think a lot of that's just playing hard and just seeing how the game is called, being in the right spots and kind of understanding the game plan that we want to get accomplished. I think when you can execute like that, a lot of that just kind of falls in line. But I think we were just playing so hard, we weren't really concerned with, if we were going to get calls or not, and that just became it. But I think a lot of times, even if there wasn't a call, we were still in pretty good position. So just kind of understanding the game plan and what we're trying to get accomplished.
You've watched Chet now for 84 games, and it seems like guys are still trying him on all of these low post things. Does that surprise you at all that guys haven't sort of gotten a scouting report on that?
Not really. We kind of understand the stigma that kind of goes with him, and I think he kind of takes it on as a challenge, and he enjoys it. So, not really got nothing else for that. He enjoys the challenge, and that's something we understand. And he's so competitive that he'll figure ways around it. It's happened so much during the year too that I think he's gotten experience with it.
And you've talked a lot about your excitement coming to these home games, about just watching the old teams. Has it met your expectations now that you're 2 games into it?
Yeah, it's so loud now I can't even really hear anything. So during the game I kind of zone out, but there's definitely points in the game where even when you're locked in, you kind of just feel it, kind of get goosebumps while you're playing.
Speaking of that, I think back to when you pluck CJ and you're on the ground screaming, like the dunk you had later on, you're screaming. You've had animated moments all year, but in these circumstances, in these moments, what does that feel like now?
I think when you add the high stakes of the game, I think that just kind of adds to the passion of it. I probably should stop. I'd be lightheaded, so then sometimes I yell and I lay on the floor after, just to kind of catch my breath. But I think some of it's just just being competitive and excited that you get to play in the playoffs. I think I said this last time. It's just some people will go their whole career and don't ever make it or be able to be in the position that I'm in. So I think just embracing that and having fun while I'm playing, regardless of what's going on in the game, I think is kind of what drives me, and it's just that just is what happens because of it.
Mark was talking about just before the game this league-wide psychology almost of teams that lost game 1 coming out hot in game 2, just coming out with a different energy. I wonder if you sense that from New Orleans and how you maybe battled that.
Yeah, I think when you lose a game, especially they played really well. The first game especially, I think when you lose like that, they have a lot of confidence, and when you have the days in between to kind of re-scout and go over the game plan, you see the game a lot clearer, and there's probably some things that they wanted to get done. So I think us kind of being able to put ourselves in their shoes, I think helped us a little bit, and then at the same time, I think we're doing a good job of just, and they probably feel the same way. I think you just got to really scratch every game. We're not looking at it as game 1 and game 2. It's just this is kind of the task at hand. This is what got to get done, and I think we're doing a good job of that. I think a lot of that's just 0-0, just being prepared for this next game and kind of understanding the position that our opponent's in.
With the job that Lou does on guys like BI night to night, does that allow you to be more aggressive on the wing, or I guess in what ways does it like help you on the defensive end?
He's a really good player, and Lou's a really good defender. So it's a lot of like competition going on there, and I think for us, it's just more having his back. When somebody's playing that hard, it's just kind of being ready to rotate if he does get beat, or if he messes up a coverage, like just kind of being there for him. So I think it's just gives us more of a sense of urgency to go play, and you try and contain the other guys, which is easier said than done. But I think Lou's just kind of giving us a push there to kind of be ready to cover for him and rotate, and he's doing a really good job. So I think it's just more us kind of being ready to take on that challenge to be able to help him when he needs it.
You just like with the Athletic, what specifically for you and Shai helped free you guys up tonight from game 1 to 2?
Guys made shots. Thought we got some good looks in the first game that didn't go in, probably from the excitement of the game and just kind of first game nerves or whatever. I think we were able to settle in as a team, and we hit shots, open up the floor. That goes for probably any team. When you hit shots, just everybody kind of has to respect the three ball. And I think Chet was 5 for 5 to start the game. So when teams have that in the back of their mind to close to him, it just kind of spaced out the floor. We made shots tonight.
Anybody else? Got last one to do all in the back.
Doug, when you say you're putting yourself in their shoes, I imagine that's different for you because you've never been in a postseason series. What does that actually look like for you?
That's a good question. I think just you try and do it as much as possible. So it's you kind of have to use your imagination a little bit. How would it feel if we lost the first game? I think that's kind of how we went into film with that, because we easily could have. They got a pretty decent look at the end. So I think kind of being humble enough to pull out and look at the kind of the aerial view of the game and understand where we could have gotten better. And then I think understanding that, they probably feel the exact same way. I think it's kind of a good start for us. I think when you go through these games, for us, I think we just try and use our imagination the best we can, how it would have felt if we would have lost, and how we respond. And I'm pretty sure they kind of feel some type of way coming into this game. So I think it's just more of being humble enough to know that the game can go either way, and then taking that and using that to our advantage.
Mark, just from the beginning, getting Chet established and with the zone and a few things that they threw at you, it seemed like you guys were pretty clinical out there in terms of just diagnosing and creating on offense. What did you like best about the 48 minutes that you put together on that end?
I thought we had great recognition. They changed things up throughout the course of the game as they did in game 1. I thought we had great recognition of how we needed to attack tonight. When they played their base stuff, and then when they went small, they played zone. We were prepared for them to do both of those things at some point in the series. It was good that we got a look at that tonight because it allowed us to get some attacks in, and we can learn from those because I would imagine they'll go back to that. And so I thought really good 48-minute execution out of the team.
And defensively, you guys have feasted on this all year, but I think you had 8 offensive fouls that you drew tonight just on pure hustle, busting around screens. Do those kind of have compounding impact over the course of a game?
No, I mean, they're just a turnover, so it's an empty possession. I thought our physicality at the point of screens made us a moving target, and they had to move out of their path to go get those plays. So I thought our physicality, our intensity on that end of the floor was really good. And now the challenge is to continue to grow and learn and improve with the series, because the Pelicans are going to improve. They're a good team that's going home, and they're well coached. They're going to get better, and so we have to continue to get better.
Mark, just what did you make of Chet's time in getting out of screens today and what that might have created for you guys?
I'm sorry.
Time in getting out of screens.
Yeah, I thought he had a really good blend. I thought he had good recognition of how they were playing him. They thrown different looks at him. They had Jones on him at one point. They played some zone. They had Nance on him. They had Valanciunas on him. So they moved around the matchups, and I thought he just had great recognition and great feel for how they were covering him and what he needed to do to kind of free us up and free himself up.
And, I mean, I won't be presumptive. I don't know how much he could control some of those early Jonas baskets, but how would you see him maybe bounce back from that and kind of go shot for shot with him, just overall like digest that first half?
Yeah, I mean, you can't take everything away, and I thought he did a really good job of hanging in there. Some of the early Valanciunas baskets were he was helping, and it was rotational stuff. A couple were offensive rebounds, so it wasn't just pure like point of attack post up. There was other stuff that Valanciunas got into the game during that stretch that we could have cleaned up, but Chet did a great job on him tonight.
Yeah, Mark, you guys seem to play with some really good pace tonight, not just for your offense, but seem to kind of speed them up on their offense tonight. Did you come into this game after – I know you guys want to play with be a team that plays with good pace, but did you come into this game after game one saying you got to play a little bit faster?
I thought both teams did that. I thought they came in with that intention. That's been a trend among these teams that were on the road in game one around the league. Everybody tried to play a little bit faster in game two. The road teams did, and so we knew that they would come out and try to push the pace. We wanted to do the same thing, and so the game was fast early in both directions.
Only 9 turnovers, really 8, because the last one with the shot clock violation. Just think about just the way you guys can contain the ball and just against this good defensive team.
Yeah, I mean, we want to be aggressive, so it's never like a point of emphasis to not turn it over. We don't want to play defense with the ball. We want to be an aggressive team. But I thought we made the early plays for the most part tonight and kept the ball ahead of them. But again, this is a good team that is going to go back to the drawing board. They're going home. They're going to gain confidence from that. They're going to play with great energy, and we've got to continue to improve our attacks and improve our force on that end of the floor so that we can continue to stay ahead of them, because it's not easy to do against this team.
Yeah, Mark, in pregame you talked about the teams that had gone down 1-0 had come out particularly early. New Orleans came out early, but you countered that really quickly, particularly Chet. How important was that? They looked like they were intent on taking over, but you didn't let them, and you got the jump.
Yeah, it was critical. We got an early grip on the game. I thought our players did a great job of understanding the mentality of the opponent coming in, and we've got to continue to do that. It's a long series. And they're going home. Like I said, they're going to be a better team at home, and they're going to be a better team because they've got good players and they're well coached. And so we have to have the same type of approach in understanding the way that they're going to come out and get ourselves to that level again.
You able to get to the basket a lot better this early on than you were in game one. Did you do something different or just play better because you chased them? They went to that zone just to slow you up on your concentration.
I thought our attacks tonight were really good. I thought the guys really executed. I thought our recognition was really good. Both teams move things around when they sub, and they move things around tactically. And in the first game, I thought both teams were kind of calibrating. And tonight we had much quicker recognition of the way that they were guarding us, the way we wanted to attack. And we got to those things pretty well, even against the zone. I thought we stumbled a little bit in the first couple possessions. And once we realized that's what they were doing, I thought we got great stuff against it.
Mark, obviously Lou was great in game one against Ingram, and even better, I think, probably tonight with only 10 shots allowed of Ingram. What impressed you, considering, coming out of game one, you have to think they're going to do some different things. What impressed you about Lou on the ball on Ingram?
I thought he was great. Again, great physicality, great energy, team defense on Ingram. I thought they did some good stuff, creatively to get him some cracks and free him up. He got cleaner looks tonight than he did in game one, and so we can study that and improve how we're countering that. But Lou was on him. He was on his body early. He's physical with him without fouling, and made him earn everything again.
There's been so much made of this team's size and rebounding. You threw out an essential 5-guard lineup tonight. What did you see out there that made you go to that?
Chet was in foul trouble, and then they had Nance out there, and I thought about maybe doing Jay Will or K. Rich there, but Dub has the same type of effect. I think Giddey was out there at that time, so we had Shai was out there, Lou, so we had some size and physicality out there, and wanted to take a look at it. That's on their menu. That's something they can go to in this series, and wanted to take a look at what that looked like. You have to learn early in the series, and we did it to try to learn what it looked like against them.
Just like with the Athletic, there was an error in the way that the fouls were reported in the first half with Chet specifically.
Yep.
And you pulled him out of the game thinking he had 3 fouls. Would you have pulled him if you thought he had 2?
No, of course not. He didn't play the last 7.5 minutes of the second quarter, and the foul that got corrected was the first foul of the game. But I want to be clear, like that referee crew, that's not their call. That's replay center stuff. So I thought the three refs tonight were very good. You know, they have a tough job, you know, and they're in a tough spot. And I thought they called a really good game, and that one's not on them. They're taking direction on that one.
And then just your overall thoughts on Shai tonight, how he got loose.
He was great. You know, I thought he had good force. You know, got his cracks, got downhill, good balance, found teammates in some critical spots, even shots we didn't make. I thought he had good sprays. And really had good control of the game, especially into the first quarter and into the third.
Michael Martin, Let's Talk Thunder. Tonight you guys shoot 50% around there from three, and I think a lot of box score watchers will just say that's the big difference from tonight. You mentioned force and a few other things. What are some of the more invisible factors that you think really carried you guys tonight?
I think we got good shots, and that had something to do with it, but I think it's an important, you know, shot making is the most variant thing in the game, you know, and I think it's important for us not to get drunk on the final score and understand that we shot the ball really well tonight, and that we need to get ourselves to 0, you know, in the next game, because shooting the ball like that is never a guarantee, as we learned in game 1. And so, again, we got to put our head down and learn and improve and continue to be a better team with every game, because New Orleans is going to do that as well.